Hey you guys, I want to do a quick overview of the scope of electric on the West Street video. So let's take a look at, we'll start out with the cover sheet again as usual, and the very end of the list here we have E1, E2, and E3. So I know that I have a lighting plan, a power plan, and one line panel board diagram. There are also other drawings that we would want to reference for electric, architectural drawings. For example, the reflected ceiling plan, and there's going to be some lights on the exterior elevation, so we'll have to take a look at that as well. Move on here to page 2, our specification sheet. So on this page, there's quite a few more notes on here, so I want to look at some of these just kind of again as an overview. But 26.1, and you guys, the specification section on this is 26,000. So everything that we see related to electrical in the spec is going to start out with 26. So 26.1, all wiring is to be run in conduit, except flex is to be used for connection to connect the lights to the junction boxes. Outlets and swishes to be commercial grade, white. Interior light fixtures to be parabolic light fixtures with 3 40-watt T8 fluorescent bulbs, electronic ballasts. Exterior light fixtures are 300 watt, a metal halide, a meter base provided by contractor. Wiring has to be provided by the local utility company. They're going to hook it up. And let's take, I'm going to have to view and zoom back in. So hang on just a minute. And there's a few more over here we'll look at. So there's an astronomical meter to control the exterior lights. So dusted on meter. Provide UPS connected to emergency lighting circuit 1, and then provide a lighting control relay to all interior lighting except the emergency lights. So that's the scope per the spec, and now we need to take a look at the drawings. So I'm going to scroll down to our next sheet, which I should already have marked. So I'll try to get through to, here we go. So exterior elevations. So our front elevation, you can see here there's a note. The note is, this is our 300 watt metal halide fixture, and the note is typical. So if I see this symbol, again, I'll know that that's a light fixture. So on the front facade, we're going to have 2 300 watt metal halide fixtures. On the side, same thing. I've got another one over here. So there's a total of 3. And let's scroll to the next sheet, the rear elevation and the opposite side. So again, I've got 2 on the rear and 1 on the opposite side. So we know there's a total of 6 300 watt metal halide fixtures. Those are mounted to metal boxes, galvanized boxes, which are set into the masonry. And those fixtures are mounted to those boxes. So there's going to be 6 fixtures and 6 boxes. So I'll keep moving here. We'll try to just do an overview, and then I'm going to do a separate video for the spreadsheet. And so this sheet, this is the reflected ceiling plan. I always like looking at this one because this is the architect's way of coordinating the electrical and the mechanical and the fire protection. So if you look at this drawing, you'll notice that you see the light fixtures here. Here's our return air grills. And we just talked about mechanical here earlier in this learning unit. And so I'm just going to use this opportunity to show you that all of these single diagonal lines represent return air grills. So this ceiling above the grid is used as a plenum, and those rooftop units are sucking return air out of the space through the perimeter grills and back circulating through the unit, and then they come out as supply. So the reflected ceiling plan gives the architect an opportunity to really coordinate and integrate all the different systems. So again, I can see the light fixtures, pretty obvious. These are 2x4 recessed troffers is what they call them. And what else do we have? Anything else? Here's that bathroom fan. And that's pretty much it. I don't see the sprinklers. Typically you would see a sprinkler layout also shown on this drawing. So let's keep moving. I don't see any electric on the elevations. This could be an outlet. I don't know what it is. We might take a look at the power plan to verify that if there's something next to the toilet. That's what it is. So here's our lighting plan. And I just want to point a few things out here real quick. Here's my exterior lights. These are 300 watts. So I've got a total of 900 watts. And they have those on one circuit. So if you look at this, I've got an arc that connects these fixtures together. And then after the last fixture, there's like a leader with a little arrow on it and a number. And that number represents the circuit that you'll find those lights on in the panel. And that arrow means that this is actually a home run. So from this fixture, that circuit goes all the way back to the panel. Okay? So same with this side. If we look at this, you'll notice that I've got 3 metal halide fixtures. 1, 2, 3. And those 3 fixtures are on circuit number 7. So we've got too many fixtures on the inside to run them off of a single circuit. So if you take a look at this, you'll notice that there are several circuits here. Here's number 1 on this. Number 1, circuit number 1, number 1. I think that's a 1 there. We'll go with that. Here's a 1 back here. And I'm going to, just by looking at this, I would bet that circuit number 1 is going to be either our night lighting or our emergency lighting, and that's why those are all spread out. And then you've got a number of other circuits. This looks like 2. I'm seeing a 5 here. Here's 6. Here's 4. And here's 3. So 1 through 6 are going to be interior lights, those circuits, and then 7 and 8 are going to be exterior. So I've got 8 circuits total for the lighting. So let's see, what else is this? I've got a switch here to control all room lighting. So I can shut this entire room on and off. I don't know how that works exactly, but it says switch to control all room lighting. So that's going to be able to turn all those circuits on and off. Okay, so let's take a look at the next sheet here. So my next plan is going to be a power plan. And, excuse me, these little guys, if we look at the legend here, I've got duplex receptacles. There's a combination voice and data. I've got a meter, a junction box, and an exit sign. So we don't have too many symbols on here. Here's those exterior panels up here, this line, so you can't hardly see where those are up here. So all of our outlets are going to be, shown up here. Here's that 42-inch above finished floor next to the mirror. Okay, so that outlet that I was mentioning earlier, there it is. That's what it was, next to the mirror and right close to the toilet there. So kind of see how all this works. I've got outlets on the perimeter, and then there's a note, 96. This one's 96 inches above finished floor. So you can barely see this, but it says AFF. And all of these are above the ceiling. That's interesting. So these are all outlets up there, and I'm not sure why they are, but that's how it works. So there's probably a note to that effect why they're up there to begin with. 96 inches, it's not above the ceiling, but it's really high up on the wall. And it's because there's video shelves up there, you know, so they're above the shelves. So all the other rooms, these are just outlets. And there's outlets here, you know, for the, whatever it was. There was a cooler on this wall, I think, or this wall. So anyway, this is the power plan. And again, if you follow these lines, so I'm going to go from this outlet to this outlet, or this box, and then over to this box, and then here. These are all, sorry about that, these are all on circuit number 12, so pretty much anything that connects to these boxes or outlets is on 12. So you can kind of break it down like that. The electrician's going to look at this and say, okay, how do we wire this, or how do they want this done? And pretty much the electrician has to kind of lay it out the way that it's shown here. So one more drawing and then we'll wrap this up. We're already at 11 minutes. Wow. So this is our panel diagram. So remember we said circuits 1 through 6 are interior lighting, and then circuits 7 and 8 are exterior lighting. And then it looks like there's some lighting in those display cases as well. So I've got another circuit out there. There's exterior signs. And then this is all interior. 11 through 21 are going to be the outlets. I've got one for the hot water heater. And then we have rooftop units. Those look like 30 amp circuits. There's going to be a roof outlet up there too. And then we'd have spares in this panel. So we're going to get everything done in one panel, and it looks like it is a 300 amp main. So that's going to be my summary of the electrical. And now let's go back in and take a look at our spreadsheet.